right. Anybody out there yet? Figure might as well give Friday a shot. If this doesn't work out well, then I'm going back to Thursdays. Because, man, I've been doing a lot of thinking about different maths when it comes to the YouTubes. I give it a minute, see if anybody else rolls in, but I got that interesting feeling that we're going to have less viewers than more. Hey, Sheree, how are you? I know Devin said she's not making it tonight. Yeah, happy Friday. Um, like I said, I've been doing math in my head, just breaking stuff down, and I'm like, I don't know. I think we're gonna have less people on a Friday than on a Thursday. So if this doesn't, if we don't have more people, I think we'll go back to Thursdays. It's probably easier anyway. Everybody's already kind of in that rhythm. You know what I mean? But how's everything going, Sheree? How are you? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I figured I'd give it a shot because the logic sound of, well, people don't have to work on Saturday, everything else. I'll tell you what, the one day of the week I really have to wake my ass up early is Saturday. That's when I do my food shopping and everything else. So, I don't know. Did it feel weird without me? Aw. Well, Devin reached out because she didn't stay till the end of the show last week. So she's like, yo, how come you're not live? Everything okay? I'm just like, yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. I was like, I said I'd go Friday. And I kind of gave her a preview of the funny thing. This shit cracks me up. Like, when I show you guys this, like, I'm actually going to, I figured out how to overlay, well, put the videos in, basically. The only problem is I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have to pause them at like 29 seconds or something into the video so I don't get a copyright strike. One of those kind of deals. Yeah, we go butt crack at dawn on Saturdays because you get I like, I've always seen this since I was a kid and working in computers. We drive across the bridge to Pennsylvania or what have you. And we used to work Saturdays and Sundays. Like we'd work weekends when the place was shut down unless there was an emergency because we're doing maintenance on the machines. So my boss pointed it out to me. He's like, "Yeah, you see this son of a bitch who's going like 10 miles under the speed limit, driving kind of in the center of both lanes, so you can't pass him and everything else." He goes, "I bet you anywhere from 65 to 80-year-old man wearing his old Sunday driving bastard hat." So we used to call them old Sunday driving bastards, right? And sure as shit, yeah, every time. But yeah, we get a lot of that down here on Saturdays. Oh, no, I mean, well, that's just it. Like, I wasn't in ABL at all either. So it's fine. Like, it's not your job to announce it on other people's streams what we're doing over here. Like, legitimately, if anything, if there's a creator like, take Alien, for example, right? I shout him out all the time. I'll shout him out right now. Sound of uh, Alien spaceship sound effects and vlog, right? Check out his channel. I shout him out every time. Anytime I drop in his chat, he shouts me out too. And it's like we just have that kind of respect for each other. You know what I mean? And I noticed this with other people too in different YouTube sets. like Gary Beekler over at Nerdrotic. Check them out too if you want to know anything going on with pop culture or heel versus babyface or the Critical Drinker. Anytime they see somebody that's a YouTuber in their chat, like even if they have a small nothing channel, they'll shout out their channel and tell you to go check them out and get them to 500 subs. gonna suck. Am I back, Sheree? Shit. Only problem is I think I lost the camera. Let's see. Yeah, I am not seeing my shit move. All right, let me try unplugging the camera and plug it. Well, actually, wait. Let me try this first. Okay, camera's definitely picking up. It's something with the fucking program. Well, no, the camera's not good because unless you see me waving my hand right now, then yeah, it's not working. All right, hold on. It's going to shut down the stream. I'll bring it right back up. Hopefully it picked up right where I left off. I got camera back. Do I have sound back? Are you guys back? Can you hear me speaking? That's the important thing. All right, cool. Thank God. Stranded, how are you? Dear Lord. What the fuck? All right, that's interesting. Did I knock the wires? No. Wires are good. Wires are good. You know, it's a good thing I picked a hell of a 13 years to quit drinking for, huh? Good to hear. How'd the move finish out? Good? All right, yeah, my hand's moving. I don't know what the hell all that was. I unplugged everything. I think OBS took a shit. So, but and I'm trying to remember what the hell I was saying. Oh, the maths I was doing about like me, Alien, and comparing us to bigger YouTubers, right? Picked a bad day to stop sniffing glue. I picked a bad day to stop cooking methamphetamine. I love Airplane. Um, so yeah, I was doing the maths on this, right? And I mean, Alien shouts me out. I always shout him out. It's just, I guess, kind of like professional courtesy or whatever. And he's a bigger streamer than I am, to be honest with you. And he's helped boost me in a lot of ways. And I thank him for that. So that's why I shout him out every time, you know. But then there's other guys that have bigger platforms that either you don't give a shit if you have a channel or not, you know, stuff like that. But then there's some guys, like I said, Gary at Nerderotic is one of them. As it heel versus babyface, where they'll be like, "Yo, go check out his stuff. It's pretty good. His stuff's okay. It wasn't for me, but go check it out." Like they try and help the little guys build, you know. But yeah, back to everything going on. So the maths I was doing. Speaking of which, before I even get into the maths, let's get Donkey Kong up so I can see what the hell I'm painting. Do 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 do. But yeah. So the maths. The maths are that if somebody has 1 million subscribers, right? All right, let's take my channel. I actually picked up 2 new subscribers too, by the way. So thank you to the people that subscribed. I appreciate the hell out of you. And that all plays into the maths, right? I have anywhere from three, but on average, it's 9 to 10 people that watch me every time I'm on Thursdays, which that's going to be like my comparison baseline, right? Is how many people watch tonight and the overall amount of views I get, all that kind of stuff. Because there are people that don't subscribe to you, right? They'll just, it pops up in their feed. They might pop in for 5 seconds, what have you. But the maths is this: if I have 60 subscribers and 10 people watch me on a regular basis, 9 to 10 people, that means that each person watching me out of those 60 is basically a percentage of six of my total viewership, if that makes sense, right? You guys follow my logic? So if I have 10 people watching, 60% of the people subscribe to me. Or no, oh God, what would it be? Um, I can't remember how I figured it out. But math is that if I had 30 people, it would be 50%. If I have 15 people, it'd be 25%. So it's right around 15%, I think, watching me, right? Out of the people that are subscribed to me that watch me on a regular basis. Now, my total amount of views is usually right in the 40s, which tells me that right around 80% of everybody watches me that subscribe to me, right? Oh yeah, and you're not wrong, and I love each and every one of you guys because you guys like there's there's one person who's here every damn time I launch the thing, and that's Sheree, and that's not taken away from anybody else, but that's why she's one of the greatest mods on the internets because she's just I don't send her a notice, nothing, bam, she's just there, right? But people like you, stranded 9 to 10 people, you guys are, and you guys are awesome, right? But now let's take a channel that has a million views. Like I think Alien has like 500, 550 subscribers, 600 subscribers. I can't remember what it was, right? And he does pretty well. He'll get like, usually like 100 views or what have you. That's a good chunk of population that's actually watching him depending on what he's covering, right? And then now I go to somebody, I'm not going to use, I don't want to use ABL because it feels mean. I'll use somebody like a Tim Pool, right? He's got 40K people usually, 35 to 40K. When I was watching his show, we're watching his show, and he was at like 1 point something million subs. Now, granted, he has at least 100,000 views on like damn near everything, even if it's just a live stream. 60,000 views will add up over, a course of a couple days or whatever, depending on the guest, stuff like this, special stuff like election coverage, right? But unless he's hitting 100, if he hits 100,000 people watching one of his things, that's 10% of his total viewership, like his subscribers. So my question really is like, and don't even if it's 10,000, that's still nothing to snuff at. Like that's a lot of people watching your shit when you're talking. Um, but the thing is, that means that I have better quality viewers and a better quality audience than some of the bigger streamers because my percentages technically are higher. Now, we'll see how it is for a Friday versus Thursday, but the fact that you guys show up all the time and like are always here and all that stuff, I don't care if there's 10 of you. You guys are amazing. Like that's fucking epic. Maybe it humbled me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. But then I see people that have a million followers or a million subs or whatever, and then I look at their shit and they have like 1,500 people on their lives or 5,000 views on that's like 0.5%, 0.05% really. um that's crazy. Like, so what are those other subscribers? Are they people that watched your shit one time, said, hey, you know what, that's pretty good? Like, same thing with some of my subscribers. Are they people that were watching the cryptic content when I switched over to lives? are like, yeah, I'm not into it, and just didn't unsubscribe from me. You know what I mean? Is it somebody that maybe popped in for, like, if it's a political channel, like election coverage, subscribe during the election, and then just, well, whatever, I'll just turn off notifications and never watch this dude again, but I'll leave my sub on there. Like, I just don't care. Because I see a lot of the bigger content creators, Quartering has said this before, Tim Pool has said this before, Daily Wire, shit like this, that will go, YouTube is purging our subscribers and all this, and people are getting unsubscribed. And then but thinking about it, technically looking at their numbers, is it actually them going like, look, we're paying you because we think you got 1 million subscribers, but you got 1,500 people watching you. Why are we paying you the X amount of dollars when you're only getting this kind of input? Or this kind of, like, why are you in this tier of fame or, referability versus a lower one because you got less views and stuff? I don't know. Maybe eventually when I get monetized, if I ever do get monetized, I'll explain it to everybody. Like, I'll just break that shit right down. I don't have a problem, like, laying it all out. Everybody will know because Sheree will go, gets her 10% take. Yeah, Sheree, you get cut in on it immediately. For being the best damn mods on these internets, because I ain't greedy like that, Like, I spread that love. But yeah, I guess that kind of leads into, yeah, it's weird. Like, I mean, I can like, there's a whole YouTube studio, all this, but it's also, I haven't even hit the point where I can be monetized. I need 500 subscribers and like 3,000 hours of content watched or something like that. And I'm at 62 subscribers. And believe it or not, I think I'm like over 1,000 hours of content watched. So people are watching what I put out there, which God save you people. I feel bad for you because you listen to my mouth run. But at the same point in time, it's, like I said, it's humbling and everything. Oh, shit. I just realized this. Oh, you got a crack in him. He has actually got a crack in him. Oh, I'm going to paint him anyway. But yeah, that sucks. He cracked. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, you can see it now, I think. He's got a crack in him. But yeah, it's like, it's crazy. I don't know. If I eventually get monetized, I will break everything. I'll lay everything bare to everybody and explain how it works. Like, firsthand. But yeah, that was going to bring me to my first thing is, have you guys heard anything about Daily Wire possibly going bankrupt? Like I said, this one's a rumor and speculation, but it's something that I have heard here, there, and other places. And some people are reporting it like it's, their hand on the Bible. Other people are saying it's rumor and speculation and allegedly. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's not true. I'm just wondering if you guys have heard anything about this. Yeah, I think you're 100% right there, too, Stranded. I think it could be bots. All right. So, Candace Owens, we know, got fired for, the Jesus is Lord statement she made. Like, they basically, I guess they parted ways amicably, not amicably, however you want to put it. Like, they went their separate ways. And the big thing was her versus Ben Shapiro, all that kind of stuff. Which, that shit happens. But, yeah, Jeremy Boring is stepping down as CEO of the Daily Wire. And looking at everything, you had what's her name? Brett Cooper leave, right? Candace Owens left, and they were two really, really big content creators and all this. Ben Shapiro has definitely lost a lot of steam. Just he's too hung up about everything going on with Israel, and people aren't finding him, I don't know, like as credible or something. Like I stopped listening to him a lot too myself. I got really sick of everything. Like I said, they should change their name to the Israeli Wire because no matter what he's talking about, he finds a way to work in, something about what's going on in Israel and Gaza, even when nobody else really gives a shit. It can be like, yeah, like well, and that's just it. Like you just said, stranded. Um, you don't notice Daily Wire posting as much. It's because a lot of their like you. So Brett Cooper, I never even listened to the Chick Show or whatever. I used to listen to Andrew Klavan, Michael Knowles, that kind of stuff, um, and then Ben Shapiro, of course. But it was like there's a point in time where he was like red hot, and I think it's because that was when he was going to the colleges and owning people. But now you have Charlie Kirk, who does it much better. Steven Crowder, that does kind of the same damn thing with that Change My Mind. And they do it much better than Ben Shapiro. Like Ben Shapiro would have those ooh moments, but that shit's kind of over. Like he kind of sits in a studio now and just bitches about the Gaza Strip, right? And how like he's all in favor of killing Palestinians, like them bombing them into sand. So I think I think that kind of caught up with him. And then, did either of you guys see anybody out there see Am I Racist? Did anybody see that movie with Matt Walsh? Because he had What is a Woman, and then he had Am I Racist? Right? And Am I Racist? It was like, oh, it's the follow up movie. It's so good and all this kind of crap. I don't know if either of you guys saw that. Like, saw that movie. Like, I saw it. I don't pay for Daily Wire subscription, but I still saw it. I'll just put it that way. Yeah, see, exactly. Right. I'm not gonna lie. In my opinion, a lot of that shit felt staged. Like, okay, so you guys have seen the trailer for Am I Racist? I'm guessing. I think everybody has because they ran it like on a pretty constant loop on when they were advertising it and everything else on YouTube. Um, where he goes to like a meeting where like the chick's giving a dissertation and they figure out he's Matt Walsh and he's like, oh, I got to wear a disguise and all this. I got to be somebody who's going to be undercover. Right. Okay. So the part where he's in like the meeting and because I know you guys have seen it, but like it's basically like a help group for white people to cope with their whiteness or whatever, and it's the chick's DEI certified and all that kind of bullshit. But if you actually watch, because they only show part of the scene where he gets found out and he's like, I need a disguise. That whole scene goes on for like 10-15 minutes. And I'm not going to lie, if you go watch it, like if you ever get a chance to see the entirety of it, it felt like he came in, they all knew it was Matt Walsh, and they're all just playing around or placating him because they're getting paid. And then he gets up to go to the bathroom, and people start checking their phones all of a sudden. As soon as he gets up, everybody starts looking at the phones. But the whole time, anytime she'd say something, he's being kind of a dick the entire time he's in the meeting. And it's supposed to be played for laughs. But it's like he kind of makes it obvious. Like he's either a comedian or, something like this. So people check their phones, look up, find Matt Walsh and all that stuff, and then out him as you used a fake name to come in here and you're screwing with us and all this kind of shit. And then he's like, do I need a better disguise? And they're like, well, maybe. And I'm not going to lie at all. Like, it felt the whole setup, everything to do with it, it felt like total bullshit. Like, it felt like everybody was in on the joke. The people were, like, not given a script and told, hey, act this way. He's just like, it felt like he walked in and said, here you go, here's X amount of dollars. Let me attend this meeting, and then you guys get to throw me out of here. What do you say? And they were like, oh, okay, yeah, cool, give us the money. Like, it just, I don't know. The whole movie felt like that, though. A lot of the setup, everything else, it didn't feel like the people that were talking were bullshitting with what they believed, but it felt like almost like a Borat skit. Like, nobody's that stupid to fall for this shit. You know what I mean? Or like the Ali G show. Like, nobody is dumb enough to fall for this the way they're falling for this. Like, they obviously got paid to, have a conversation, all this kind of stuff. So, I don't know. It felt like bullshit. But yeah, Jeremy Boring is stepping down as CEO. And then the rumor I heard was because the Daily Wire is actually in financial trouble. Now, if we break it down and say, like, like Sheree just said, I'm sick of Ben. So you stop watching his content, he's not getting that same paycheck from YouTube, and they're putting out movies that are costing them, a chunk to make, like a lot of money to make, produce, market, the whole nine yards. Well, then you're going to run yourself into bankruptcy. And on top of it, Jeremy Boring over the past like week apparently had been tweeting shit that was just weird. Like he kind of went after Candace Owens again, right? Like without naming her, just like, people that say Christ is king or whatever the hell she said, Christ is Lord. I can't remember what Candace said to start the firestorm. I think it was Christ is king. He's like, but people who say it's really a dog whistle for anti-Semites and all this kind of shit. Like, he was just going way in on weird shit and like just randomly. Like, it was like he popped his head up and was just like, I got 3 testicles. Like, wait, what did you just say, buddy? Like, why are you announcing this to the class? Like, nobody asked you. What the fuck? Where'd this come from? But he did that all week, and then next thing you know, he's stepping down as CEO. Kind of like Disney is doing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the only thing is, Disney has a theme park and owns all the damn like AAA content where they could actually kind of bring shit back if they want to. You know, Daily Wire doesn't really. What was the best thing you saw on Daily Wire? Like I know when they do those free promo movies or whatever, I would watch them on YouTube. Like I know they had What Is a Woman on Twitter. I watched it there. They had there's a superhero one with Carrie Yules, and it was like it was okay, but it wasn't anything fucking special. But the truth of the matter is, I heard that people are like do not like Jerry. Like it's basically like a civil war in the Daily Wire at this point. Now, how true or not that is, I have no fucking clue. That's why I really did ask, in all honesty, have you guys heard anything about them going bankrupt, anything like this? Because Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring are thick as thieves. So the fact that Ben Shapiro hasn't even addressed the situation, he put out something, but it was, like a good luck in your future endeavors kind of tweet, apparently. I don't know, because I don't really use Twitter. And there's a reason for that, which we'll get to the funny thing in a moment. One of the funniest things I saw this week in a moment. But yeah, it just for him to step down, for a guy who calls himself the God King to stand down as CEO, Something's not right there. Something's not right at all. Like he is either losing them a lot of money or something. Something the math ain't mathing somewhere. Oh, I didn't hear what was Matt Walsh's scandal with his wife. I didn't hear none of that. Like, I'll be honest with you, I kind of stay away from the Daily Wire. Like they they became like, you know how Democrats, like a lot of Democrats will act like elitists like Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer, like they're better than everybody else and the shit doesn't stick to them. The Daily Wire has kind of gotten to that level where they act like, well, we were the original conservatives. We were the ones who were all about this, that, and the other. That we were the first to it. Like they come across as kind of douchebags, like higher education, spoiled rich kid douchebags. And I mean, not that they don't have good takes, and they're not right in the shit they say. They feel like spoiled assholes to me. Even if they grew up poor with nothing and and all that, it doesn't mean you can't act like you're an elitist. And that's kind of where they fall on my spectrum of people that I can actually listen to their message or what have you. I guess that's the best way of putting it. No, that's Steven Crowder. That's not Matt Walsh. That's Steven Crowder. Yeah, matter of fact, his wife actually released a video where he like complete kind of like beta male where she was like, "Look, I want to go out and I want to go shopping and we only have one car." And he's like, "Well, you can't have the keys." And she's like pregnant. He's like, "Did you do the dishes? Did you do that?" And she's like 6 months pregnant. Yeah, that shit was Steven Crowder. Like some real beta shit. Like he basically like was big dogging his wife. Yeah, Crowder really lost me with that shit too. No, Matt Walsh he's the guy. He's got looks like moss for a beard that was painted black. Um, very very nerdy looking dude, like super soft or what have you. Glasses. I mean, it is what it is. Hey, he's not the most. Doesn't look like the most masculine fellow. Like he looks like the kid that you would pick last in dodgeball. You know what I mean? Like or any other goddamn sport that you're actually going to play for to try and win. Like if everybody got a trophy, you'd pick him on the team. But outside of that, yeah, no, he'd be like one of the last dudes you pick. Doesn't mean his message isn't good. Just means like he is kind of a bitch, a soft bitch. Like or at least looks that way. Like it's same thing. Like I said, they're kind of like elitists. Like Michael Knowles seems like the kind of guy that you would argue with over, what's the nicest spot to go yachting, for example. I don't know. Like you wouldn't discuss like, oh yeah, dude, did you see that UFC fight with Michael Knowles? It'd be like, yes, I was out on my yacht last night, and you'll never believe it. They tried to give me the low shelf caviar. Like that's what Michael Knowles strikes me as, like that kind of dude. Yeah, there's not going to be any way of covering this crack. That thing is. I mean, it doesn't look bad from far, but what I'll end up doing is taking resin and putting it in here, and then I got to show it off again. Moyu, these guys make nail stuff for acrylic nails, right? But one of the things they have, because the acrylic resin reacts the same way as modeling resin, this thing isn't even out on the market yet. They're just starting to come out on the market, but they sent it to me. My wife does her own nails, all that stuff. She's got more nail polish than I do, paint and all that kind of shit. And they sent this out to me, or out to my wife to try. My wife was like, "Hey, can I get a second one of those?" So she gave me the first one, and I can literally hand cure resin with it because it's UV light. So this is what you actually use to cure your resin. Also find interesting stains on your bedside too if you're looking for them. But yeah, it'll actually cure resin. Yep, he will fight. But yeah, and that is a good suggestion over a battle wound. But yeah, so the Daily Wire might or might not be in trouble, but any which way you slice it, uh, Jeremy Boring is no longer going to be in charge over there, right? Like pretty much it. So, would you guys like to go on to the funniest shit I saw all week? Now, this may or may not be funny to you, but it's hysterical to me because I am a gaming nerd. Yeah, my wife is the best. She really is. Um, but the funniest shit I saw all week resolved around the fact that one, they release 80,000 JFK files, more than that, pretty much. And yeah, Trump was even asked today, like by Peter Ducey. So, Mr. President, can you just tell us who killed JFK? And Trump was just like, well, I released all the files. You read them and you tell me. So, in other words, Trump doesn't know who the fuck killed JFK either. Like, it's still just as much of a mystery wrapped in an enigma. They basically made it where if you thought it was Israel that was involved, you're still going to think it's AIPAC in Israel. If you think it was the CIA that was involved, you're still going to think it's the CIA. If you think it was LBJ that was involved, doesn't matter. Whatever rabbit hole you were already in, now it just made that rabbit hole a little deeper. Let me grab paper towels. The only one I have high hopes for, I think, will be interesting to see, is if they do release all the MLK Jr. files, the Robert F. Kennedy files, and the MLK files. The MLK files, because it's like well established fact that they try to get MLK to take himself out at one point. Like they screwed with him extra hard. Like they really tried to ruin that man. There's a lot of stuff about Ray Epps. I can talk about Ray Epps too. But Early Ray, who shot Martin Luther King Jr., was just like a small time thief that was a complete fuck up. And how he pulled off what he pulled off is baffling. So it'll be interesting to see what's in those files. It's going to be a lot more interesting than what we're getting right now from the JFK bullshit or the Epstein epic fail, because the Epstein list is probably one of the worst things. But anyway, I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but there's a reason why you always research shit that you're going to talk about. If you're going to talk about it in absolutes, like, yes, I know exactly, this person isn't lying about this. You can come out and say, like I say, where it's like, I don't know. I'm just going to speculate here. Maybe there's something going on with the Daily Wire, right? Like, I didn't come out and say, absolutely, they're going bankrupt and I'm going to put my house on it and shit like this. No, I'm literally asking and trying to find out what's actually going on. What's the actual deal? There's a reason why you don't. Yeah, that's a possibility too, Stranded. You're not wrong. Like, I did hear something about that. I'm not entirely 100% though with what the deal is with it. I'll read those files when they come out. They'll probably be much smaller than 80,000 documents that really tell you nothing. Um, but yeah, there's a reason why you don't go to social media. Like, oh, I went to Twitter and Twitter told me that, the Great Reset's going to happen and Alex Jones is going to ride a spaceship, is going to ride a unicorn in and save the day. Like, okay, like, and then you're reporting that shit as it's fact. It's like, no, that's not how this works. So, so old buddy puts up this video about the JFK files, and I'm pretty sure it was part of his live stream too, because I check out his content here and there, and he's not bad, and he's all right with his reporting in some cases, and in other cases, I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? And this was one of those cases where it was, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Because he gets all his shit from Twitter, right? Like, so Jack Posobiec will post something and he'll immediately repost whatever Jack Posobiec said. And it's like, we don't know that as fact. Jack Posobiec's not giving you all the receipts, so you don't know if he's telling you absolute factual. You would like to believe he is, but he went and he was doing shit on the JFK files. And yeah, I'm going to just play the video so you guys can see this shit. I got it queued up and everything. And possibly rip headphone users, because we'll see. I had to put like a little thing up there too. Let's see if this comes up. I think I set this shit up, and of course it's not coming up. Here we go. So I put up a watermark kind of over it, just to kind of blank out their content a little bit, just so it doesn't. Ooh, that's not gonna let me move it, is it? Oh shit, that's why. Just so YouTube like can't completely nail me out with this copyright strike, because there's a couple videos I'm going to show you guys. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So this guy is Gary Franchi of the Next News Network is what it's called. And hopefully this should hopefully have the volume right. If not, and it's too loud, you guys got to let me know right away so I can adjust it. Okay. But let's check this out. And then I'm going to stop the video and let you guys know different stuff that happened along the way. Can you guys hear it okay? Can't hear him? Okay, hold on. How about now? Okay, give me 1 second. Let me mess with this then, because this should be coming through. I know it's in my sound mixer somewhere. Input, output, system sounds, OBS. Yes, yes, yes. I need to go into I know it's a sound setting that I got to switch over. It's just like with Discord. Like when people send me the voice on Discord, I have to switch something. Speakers. Audio. Try turning this up. Let's try this again. Can you guys hear that?
Let's see if we can take a closer look at it. Oh, look at this. This is actual.
God damn it. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm blowing off my... Wait a minute. What about now?
Transcript of the readout. Field distribution. Robert McNamara, Prime Minister Castro. This missile crisis was the last straw. We almost...
Okay, cool. Let me rewind the setup then. I want to say it's like 156, but he basically goes, this is on Twitter, this guy's put this up, and this is something that was in the JFK dump. Okay, here we go.
This is stuff we've seen before, but no, we haven't seen this before. Okay, Alex Sears posting this. We're going to try to break down as much as we can that we have.
Camera's working. Okay, can you guys hear me now? Or now? Or now? Yeah, I don't know what the hell. I'm going to try playing the volume for this in the background. God damn it. Let's try this again. This time with feeling. God damn. If it cuts out, let me know right away. I don't know what the hell's happening with it.
Of the readout. Field distribution. Robert McNamara, Prime Minister Castro. This missile crisis was the last straw. We almost blew ourselves up. Now we invited you here today. in good faith, says John F. Kennedy. McNamara, in good faith to sort this thing out. Castro, and why is he? Nixon here? He lost, Castro says. Kennedy says, as I always say, forgive your enemies, but remember their names. Now gentlemen,
you guys are
as I
paying
like to
attention to what
think
comes
in
up
this
next.
long history of the world, that there are only a few generations. Noises are heard in the background. Nixon, sounds like someone's breaking in. Kennedy, just the storm, Dick, sit down. Zombies smash a window, making noises, breaking through. Nixon, oh my God, McNamara, appears the Pentagon has been breached. Zombies.
Did you guys catch what he just said? Right there on the screen, it says, just the storm, Dick, sit down. Zombies. So, we have all that happen, right? Get my overlay too. So, yeah, he reported that. Like, you just heard him read it. Like, and he goes back up and checks it, and he's just like, yeah, I mean, it seems legit because it says right here, the Presidential Release Act or what have you. Official JFK files. Like, he reported that shit like it was factual. Did my shit crap out again or no? Okay, good. I'm good. Yeah, I started laughing hysterically 5 seconds in when he's like, there was a secret meeting between Kennedy, McNamara, Nixon, and Castro, because I am an avid video game nerd. And you've heard about some of the video games that I've talked about playing, specifically ones that I played with my buddy David. Right? Oh no, they were talking about zombies. However, and hopefully I don't lose shit again. I gotta pull it up now, because I'm going to show you what exactly that shit's from. Word for word, line for line. I'm going to actually show it to you. And should be right about here.
Do not stand still is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future.
Oh, just fast forward.
I said.
Okay, here you go. Here's exactly what that shit is from. I really need to set this thing up where I have two different lineups. Actually, I'm going to turn off my overlay too for this one. Ready? This is what it's from. That whole shit that he just did.
Are certain to miss the future.
Oh no, I missed that.
Prime Minister Castro, this missile crisis was the last straw. We almost blew ourselves up. Now, we invited you here today...
In good faith.
In good faith. To sort this thing out.
And why is he here? He lost.
As I always say, forgive your enemies, but remember their names. Now, gentlemen, as I like to think, in the long history of the world, that there are only a few generations.
Sounds like someone breaking in.
Just a storm, Dick. Sit down.
Oh my
It appears the Pentagon has been breached.
Zombies. Gentlemen, at times like these, our capacity to retaliate must be, and has to be massive, to deter all forms of aggression. Gentlemen, lock and load.
Viva la revolución!
Any last words, Mr. President?
Yes, Jack. Any superlative words of inspiration for our humble troops?
Do not pray for easy lives, my friends. Pray to be stronger men.
So, yeah. Yeah. That's from the first Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies mode. The map is called 5. And on the map 5, you play as one of the 4, either McNamara, Castro, you play as McNamara, Castro, Kennedy, or Nixon. And it's actually on the first Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops game. It's a map called 5. And somebody took it and did the transcript of what's said in that scene, and then put like the bullshit label on top of it and made it look like all the other pages in the Kennedy files. Now, that's not in the official government documents. That was the dude going on Twitter and trolling. And the funniest part was that dude just reported that shit like it really fucking happened. Like why are they talking about the zombies? I don't understand. Why are they talking about zombies? But yeah, I about pissed myself. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit. Like, soon as I heard it, I put up on his shit. I was just like, bro, like that's a map from Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies. Map's called 5. You got completely like just rickrolled here. But yeah, I thought that was hysterical. I was just dead. Like when he's reading it, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, that is the cutscene. Now, if you're not a video game nerd, like me, you don't know that, and it's just like, why the hell are they talking about zombies? What the fuck is going on here? But if you're a video game nerd, every video game nerd that heard that would immediately go, oh, wait a minute, it's Nixon, McNamara, Castro, and Kennedy. Oh yeah, that's this Black Ops Zombies map. But I mean, I was in tears. I was in hysterics over it, because I'm just like, how do you not realize this when you're saying it to yourself and then you read zombies? Like, wait a minute, let me Google Kennedy and zombies right now and see what the hell comes up. And I guarantee you Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies maps come up. Like, and that game came out, like, what are we on? We're on Black Ops 6 now. So we're talking, good Lord, like what, 2000, like 5, 8, even 10. Like, it's got to be like 15 years old, 10, 15 years old. But it was hysterical because everybody was just like, dude, you got trolled. And like, he never put out a correction video, never put, like a retraction, nothing, just left that shit out there on the internet. I'm like, bro, this is why you do not get all your information off Twitter. This is why you don't listen to everybody that has some kind of crazy. This is that Alex Jones shit right here. This is why you don't listen to like shit, everything. Don't take everything he says as gospel. This is why. Yeah, it's definitely one of the more fun of the maps. It really is. So every Black Ops, they always did, like every zombies thing they ever do, they have one where it's a cast of characters, and the characters are either famous people or like actors, like professional actors. Like Kiefer Sutherland's been in it. But I know in the first Black Ops it was called Call of the Dead. It was one of the download maps. And it was Sarah Michelle Gellar, who played Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Danny Trejo, who plays like Machete and was in From Dusk Till Dawn, Robert Englund, George Romero, and it was called like Night of the Dead or something like that, or Call of the Dead. And I'm trying to remember who the fourth one was, but they were like famous actors. Like they always do one, but they did one where it was like basically you're playing John F. Kennedy shooting zombies, or Tricky Dick shooting zombies, you know? And it was really neat. And that was that map. Yeah, the first thing that comes up on, like, how the hell, you know, a video game nerd like me, I nail that shit out in a matter of seconds. But if you're doing, and this is where I do kind of respect ABL, he's at least checking his news sources before he posts shit. Like if that shit came up on ABL, he'd be like, yo, what's this shit? Zombies. Let me just Google that real quick. Yo, man, this is bullshit. Like he would have called bullshit on it, you know? I called bullshit on it immediately. But this dude was like, yeah, it's got to be real. But he also had one where, you remember the whole thing with the drones in New Jersey? He was one of the first ones to put up that guy's shit from Twitter that was talking about how they were searching for nuclear material and that's what they're for. And then he did a follow-up to it like the next day and was just like, yeah, so, you know, I talked to somebody and they said the nukes are real and they're somewhere in New Jersey and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, you're going to cause a public fucking panic. What is wrong with you? Like, have you lost your fucking mind? Like, if you're going to say shit, make sure that, A, it's coming from 3 sources. Like, just standard. You know, this is how we get bullshit like Trump's a Russian agent or the Great Reset's going to happen. Okay, who are your sources? Well, there's lots of people who said it on the internet. Like, what the fuck? Like, no, that's not how that works. Like, who are the actual people? Was it like, you know, what did Pete Hegseth come out and say, hey, you know, there was nuclear material and that's what the drones are certain? No. Was it Anthony Blinken at the time or, you know, whoever the fuck was in charge? Like, was it the president of the United States coming out and saying, hey, there's possible nuclear material somewhere in America floating around? No. No, you just literally put something out there and you're getting clicks on it and we're calling it a day. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get the ever-loving fuck out of here. Like, but I was dead. I was dying. Like, I mean, I had tears streaming down my eyes and everything when he was reporting it. The first time I heard it, I was like, this dude legit just reported Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies like it was fucking some real shit JFK did. Like, what? Like, oh, shit. Anybody in that generation is going to, you know, who listens to him is now going to think like, yeah, why am I going to listen to any of your reporting because this was total bullshit? I might as well just go watch MSNBC or CNN now. Like, I'll get the same line of bullshit. One of the other things I did want to touch on real quick before I show you, I think my video is like I put the JFMK, that was the JFMK and the something funny. But the something stupid is actually something that just occurred Wednesday night on a wrestling show that is on TBS, AEW Dynamite. And I gotta show this. And this one is not for the faint of heart. And it is one of the dumbest fucking things I have ever seen, and I'll get into it. But the other dumb thing that I can really kind of get into to lead, you know, before I get there, is are you guys seeing what's going on with everybody like setting Teslas on fire and burning the charge stations and all this kind of nonsense? Like, they're crazy. So let me get this straight. Everybody should go buy an electrical vehicle. And then if the person who made the electrical vehicle pisses you off in some way, shape, or form, you should go destroy everything that man has built, including his including all this, right? Like, we should just go and set all the stations on fire and go cook everything. Yeah, I could believe they arrested 3 people. If you fly a drone in restricted airspace, so like over an airport, even though you have a license for your drone and you're just a drone enthusiast, or over a military base, or over like Sheree just said, like, the president's properties, even if they're not the president at the time, but like, say you flew it over Martha's Vineyard, right? Over Obama's house. Yeah, you're going to get a knock at the door and you're in deep shit because you're not allowed to navigate stuff like that in unrestricted airspace. And that's what it's considered, is unrestricted airspace, or restricted airspace rather, not unrestricted. That would make it completely legal to fly it in. You also can't fly it up to a certain distance. It is. You know exactly what it is. How about now? How about now? Yep. Yeah. So here's what I think is happening. So my laptop is on the other side of the room. I bought, I think it's like a 15-foot long, I want to say I got a 20-foot long USB and a 20-foot long HDMI that I have run out like along the outskirts of the room over to where this desk is. I have a monitor set up there, and I have a there. Now, I think what's happened is because of the wall I have it run across, there is a mini fridge over in the corner. Whenever the mini fridge kicks on, my monitor shuts off for a second, and then you guys start saying there's static and there's no volume, which I think it's temporarily throwing a pulse. Cut out for a second, it crashes the whole damn thing. Does that make sense? In other words, I got to run the wires either a different way or move my laptop every time I stream. Yeah, I believe the sound cut in and out because I just heard the refrigerator kick on. I moved the wire, but I haven't moved it completely away from, like, I moved it away from the back of the fridge, but now I got to move it further from the front of the fridge. I think it's still a little too close to the fridge, and it's crazy. It's crazy because that's just a simple electromagnetic field. Let me get up and move the wire even further. All this because GAM wanted to hang a 65-inch TV and use it as his computer monitor. Sound good? Video should be, yeah, I'm still in motion. But yeah, so that's one thing, right? Like, first the hypocrisy of, hey, we, the hypocrisy of buy electrical vehicles, we're going to do away with the gas-powered ones, right? So you have that part of it right off the rip, and then we're going to just burn them all up. Like, well, wait a minute, what are you guys doing here? Like, what's the dealio? Like, why would you even do this? You know, like, what was the point in propagating electrical vehicles if you're just going to burn them the hell up, for one? For two, it's exactly what Stranded just said. I'm like, every Tesla is equipped with like 4 or 5 cameras that I know of, or that I've heard. And so it's an anti-theft device, the whole 9 yards. So if I know this, how does somebody who's setting them on fire not realize that shit is being monitored when you're burning it? And I'm not going to lie, this is where I kind of pitch a bitch about it. Why? Like, how come there hasn't been a press conference yet where maybe not Trump, but either Pam Bondi or Kash Patel come out and say, look, we have video, we all this stuff, we are going to use the full force of the FBI. This is domestic terrorism. You will go to jail for 15 to 20 hard years in federal prison, no possibility of parole or good behavior. And we will drop the full for doing domestic terrorist acts of burning shit down. That's where I'm going to like come down and be like, yeah, what's up with this? How come you guys aren't addressing it head on? Like, why don't you address this stuff dead on? Just go right at them. You know they're screwing around. Just whale them, get them. But they don't do they don't do that shit. And then the other part of it is, you know, like, not only like, why aren't you going at them like that? How come it's okay? Like, this is one of those things where, okay, so we can all agree January 6th was a terrible day. There's a reason why they call it the Summer of Love, because the BLM riots, they burned down an entire fucking city, right? Like, they just set all kinds of shit on, billions of dollars in damage, the whole 9 yards, right? Well, it's a shame we can't contrast how one side of the aisle deals with stuff that they don't agree with. Like, I don't know, Dylan Mulvaney holds up a Bud Light can. Do you remember how all of a sudden everybody on the right went around and burned up all of Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch's distilleries and started, like, you know, taking all the cans of Bud Light and throwing them through the bar's windows when they would get served, and setting fire to people's houses and threatening to kill the CEOs of Anheuser-Busch. You remember all that? Oh, no, that's because it didn't happen. What they do? They just stopped buying their fucking beer. So that's fine. Like, the one guy was like, oh, well, you know, Mark Kelly, I think his name is, was just like, yeah, I don't like Tesla or Elon Musk, what he's doing, so I got rid of my Tesla and bought a different vehicle. Okay, that's fine. That's an open protest. But you don't go burning shit down. A lot of us didn't agree with the fucking Pfizer shot, right? You don't see us burning Pfizer to the earth. You don't see us breaking into pharmacies and taking all their drugs, all those shots, and throwing them in a pile and setting them on fire, right? Like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing here? Eventually, somebody, like, the right side has got to get some teeth to them and, like, either start putting people in jail, or eventually normal everyday people are going to lose their shit and have enough. And then, you know, that couple that went out on their lawn and got arrested during the BLM riots, they went out on their lawn, they were holding the guns and, like, pointing them at people and all that, and got in all kinds of trouble, the lawyers. You know, the lawyers that had gotten in trouble for going out there and pointing the guns and all that. Eventually, somebody's going to go out, and they're not just going to point the gun. Not protesting. walking around with a sign and yelling at people, hell, even sitting down in the street and blocking cars, that's a protest. And then the cops should show up, they should remove you and move you off to somewhere safe where you're not interfering with emergency things or just regular life, but you can still have your voice heard. Going and burning shit down is not protesting, it's arson. But right now, you have the ability and you can engage with it. And you're not. So you're basically, you're sending the signal, please keep doing this shit. Because now you know, like, okay, on its surface, it looks like you are the party of law and order, right? But reality check is this. To a grown person, yes, you're the party of law and order. To a younger kid who's looking at you, somebody who's a teenager, you look like a bitch. You look weak. You look like you have no fangs and you're just talking a lot. You know, I'll you say that again, I'll punch you in the mouth. Oh, don't you say no more of that. No, sir, no how. I'm telling you, say that again, I will hit you. Oh, so you say that again, I will hit you. Like, you're never going to hit the person. I don't know if you ever saw The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm sure you probably have. But there's one part in the movie where the guy's talking all this smack about how he's going to shoot the guy dead and all this kind of stuff. The other guy just draws his gun and shoots him. And he says, if you're going to talk, talk. If you're going to shoot, shoot. Well, don't tell me how, like, all this kind of crap. Go arrest some people, throw them in jail, make it public, make the news cover it. Put it in everybody's face. You're going to destroying private property or assaulting a business. And it doesn't necessarily, let's say it was Chevy's, not Elon Musk. I could give a shit that it's Elon Musk's shit. It's the fact that you're just going and destroying somebody's property. Okay, great. Tesla put out a car, they put out a truck or whatever. You're not hurting Elon Musk. The person who owns that car probably saved up to get that car in some cases, right? They probably had their personal shit in the car when you burned it the fuck up. Like, you're destroying somebody else's property that's just a private citizen. Maybe they're not political at all. Maybe they don't give a shit at all. You're not hurting Elon Musk. You're hurting everybody. And when they burn up one of those, like, charge stations, they're not just specifically for a Tesla. They're for Chevys, they're for Fords, they're for all the other car companies that are electric too. Like, dumb as fuck. But somebody just needs to, like, honestly, I feel like somebody needs to go to Trump or Kash Patel or Pam Bondi and say, look, handle this shit before I handle it. And you're not going to like how I handle it. And then they follow through. And, like, I guarantee you, you're going to see a lot less, you're going to hear a lot of crying, but a lot less violence. Yeah, that's just it. I mean, what do you think the insurance, like, well, granted, I guess at that point, then the cost on insurance on a Tesla would go through the roof. It's just like, the cost of insurance on a house for fire damage in California versus that of fire insurance in, like, I don't know, Montana, right? Like, two different animals. Like, I'm paying like $5,000 a month in California. I'm paying $50 a year over in Montana for the same insurance. But yeah, that stuff had me pissed off. Because I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Like, come out, say something, be forceful about it, and just put this shit to bed now before it starts getting really out of hand. Because once it's really out of hand, it's too late. And I'll tell you what, just looking at the numbers 110%. We are switching back to Thursday nights. 110%. I'm looking at the concurrent rate of views, chats, everything else. If Stranded hadn't dropped in Sheree, it would have just been me and you basically bullshitting. And to be honest with you, I feel also like everybody was like, man, I kind of missed you on Thursday night. Like everybody was kind of like looking forward to it. And then I pushed it a day. I don't think I think this experiment is a failed experiment. I think we have our results and they are what they are. Like Devin, I know Devin, shout out to her. I told her I was going to shout her out in the show at some point. Like I said, she contacted me yesterday, said, why aren't you streaming tonight? I said, well, like I said at the end of last week's show, we're going to try moving to Fridays, everything else. And Devin was just like, she's like, yeah, but I got my niece's wedding or something like that to go to tomorrow, you fool. And I was just like, oh, shit. So that's why Devin's not here. Yeah, I mean, it was worth a shot. Just no, it's not working. And to be honest with you, like even like my audio and everything, it was all hooked up like this last week. No fuck ups, right? I'm painting. I don't even feel like fucking painting. Like I'm just painting like an asshole. Like I'm just slapping paint on there. Yo, Stranded, you're 100%, you're not wrong. My wife saw one of those trucks, was just like, what the fuck is that goofy fucking thing? I'm like, I have no idea. And we had to look it up. And she goes, oh, it's one of the new Tesla trucks. I'm like, yeah, I ain't buying one of them ever. Fuck that. I was just like, I was like, it doesn't look right to me. It looks like an armored personnel vehicle or something that you would drive in the military. It doesn't look like a consumer car. It's got sharp, pointy edges, no sexy curves to it. It's like I want to drive a car that's kind of smooth and looks decent. I don't want to drive a stealth bomber. Like I don't know exactly. And now, granted, I'm sure the tech in it and everything else is beautiful, guaranteed. Like you get in one of those things and ride around it, I bet you it's amazing, right? But the exterior, make it sexy. Like there's a reason why, like old school American heavy metal muscle cars, they're sexy. They're sexy, but I think it's just foolish. Like I don't know. I'm fucking like I've about had it with Donkey Kong too. He didn't even do anything wrong. He was just here for this stream. But yeah, I'm serious when I say definitely moving nights, not a good idea. I think we already had a habit going. I think everybody was happy. I think everybody was enjoying themselves, and I think I like honestly, not much else has come out other than they're killing off the Department of Education. You know something? Thank you, Stranded. You just told me everything I fucking need to know, because if I'm streaming on Thursday, you hop in to watch me. But you didn't come to watch me. You came to watch Alien. He's just not on yet. And I was fortunate enough to get your view. Otherwise, you would never have known. Yeah, nah, not again. Like I'm even like I said, my painting's even off its game. Like I'm painting fucked up. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, Stranded. They do. They look like they're right from it's not Battlefield. What the hell was the name of it? Battlezone. The tanks in Battlezone on the Atari 2600. Like doot 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 doot. Yeah. Yeah, you got a good point there. That's exactly what they look like. Jesus Christ, I'm messing him all up. He's all funky looking. Poor Donkey Kong. He doesn't deserve this. Never again. Never again a Friday, guys. Fuck Fridays. Yeah, I had to think about it myself, but yeah, it's Battlezone. And don't worry, next Thursday I will be there. We are going back to normal. Um, like I said, it was an experiment. People told me, "Oh well, we don't have to work on Saturday, so Friday is better because then we can stay up later." Duh. Yeah, not one of them motherfuckers is here. Like, no, we're better off on Thursdays. Everybody, seems to enjoy that better. Every now and again something gets added at the last minute on a Friday usually, and like I said, this time it was the death of the Department of Education, which I haven't even really said shit about. Yeah, that's what we should call this one. This is Friday fuckery. That's a good way of putting that. It is. It's just Friday fuckery. Yeah, fuck doing Fridays. We're 100% set for Thursdays next time. We're going back to our regularly scheduled program. Because honestly, it was fucked up. I was playing video games yesterday, and I stopped playing all of a sudden. And I'm like, why am I not playing anything? Like, I just literally turned it off. I wasn't even done the round or anything. I just turned off the game. I'm like, why did I turn off the game? And I looked at the clock and I'm like, oh shit, it's 7:30. This is when I set everything up. Like, my dog was out of hand last night and I couldn't figure it out. And then I realized, oh, because when I'm done streaming, if he's a good boy through the whole thing, he gets a puppy cup. See, like I said, I'm all right with them doing away and cutting the fat off it, but let's not cut what standards, because let's not have 50 different standards. We still need one standard in place that says, yes, 80% of our students can't read at a fourth grade level. It's like, all of a sudden it's, and I'm not going to pick on any states here like Alabama, but let's say Alabama is like, yeah, our students can all read, perfectly now. And it's like every one of them's illiterate. Like, what the fuck just happened? Well, there's nobody holding the standard in place. So we got to be careful. It is kind of a double-edged sword in some ways. Doing away with it outright, we got to be careful of. But I do think it's better because, going to school choice, supplementing, all that kind of stuff, yeah, maybe you're going to get better teachers out of it. Maybe you're going to get a better education out of it. I don't know. But something had to change. And at least, just like the Friday fuckery experiment here, at least they're trying something. I'll give them credit for that. Some of this stuff gives me a bad feeling. It gives me be careful. Don't completely throw out a system that's been working to an extent. Find the parts that are working and then take the parts that aren't working and just do away with all of it. Well, that's what I'm saying is change. So you're right. They're not fulfilling the standard right now. We need to change that, but don't throw out the standard either. You know what I mean? Like, okay, here's the standard. Here's where it should be. Don't get rid of that. Because if you change what the standard means to each state, it could mean something different in Alabama than it does here. And like I said, I'm not just picking on people from Alabama either. Hopefully that's got it back. Is that shit back on? Yep. Don't ask me, because that one, nothing shut down. There was no power surge. Just in the middle of talking, all of a sudden it cut out. I don't know what the hell the difference is. Yeah, we're definitely, and you're right. You're not wrong either, Stranded. I about pissed myself laughing when I first read that. Even the sound does not like this Friday bullshit. This Friday night fuckery. Oh yeah, and if you want to know how bad it actually is, oh shit, look at that. If you want to know how bad it is, 3 concurrent viewers and 4 total views. At this point in time, I usually have about 20 viewers total. Yep. Yeah. It's like, yeah, this one is definitely a night of it's screwed. Oh yeah, a lot of signs, including the actual metrics. Hell, coffee. What the fuck? Yeah, totally fucked. Totally fucked. Can you guys actually hear me again, or is shit actually coming through? You know what? Let me do this. Hopefully I can hear myself now. My God. Yeah, I'm 100% not enjoying this. Not that I'm not enjoying having you two here. I mean, that's actually the awesome part. The shit part is everything else. The sound going out, the way I'm painting tonight. Like I said, my painting is completely off. It's screwed. Nothing feels right. Equipment crapping out. Like I said, I think even Donkey Kong deserves better, and he used to be the villain and everything. And now you're gonna have that damn song stuck in my head. All right, so should I show you guys the stupid thing that happened this week? I might as well. We're gonna make this one. I'm gonna cut it early too. I think because I'm just getting more and more pissed off as time's going. Um,
But wait a
all right, I had to hit mute on it. I gotta pause it because this one might get me in a lot of trouble or get me demonetized. All right. All right, I got it all set. Let's see. Okay. So this, Yeah, I am actually going to have to throw the overlay up because these guys are notorious for messing with people. So let me give you guys the setup here. AEW. The guy you're seeing on your screen right now is a guy named Jon Moxley. He is currently the world champion, and they did this bullshit street fight for the world title. He's going up against a guy named Adam Copeland, who in WWE is known as Edge, right? And he's over here. They're basically beating each other up with chairs and tables and all that fun shit. And then Edge goes under the ring and he pulls out a 2x4, which you will see here in a second, with, I'm going to say, 50 to 100 nails sticking through it. All right. And he's just hit Jon Moxley with it. Now, that's bad enough on its own, right? You're smacking somebody with this thing. Okay. You guys will be able to see it here. He is basically grabbing him and putting him in a headlock. Now, you can see the board on the ground with all the nails sticking through it, right? In the middle of the ring. No. If it was some shit that Hacksaw Duggan used to do, that'd be fine. This is a board with spikes in it. Now, he set it in the middle of the ring. You guys can see it. I don't know if you can see my cursor on screen or not, but it's right here where I'm drawing a circle. And he's grabbing him. So I figured he was going to, like, throw him forward on top of it, something like this, so the guy, like, falls flat on it, whatever. No. This is the stupid shit that they do.
He's positioned. Oh my God! You got to be kidding me!
Okay, that is a grown man being suplexed onto a board with spikes going through it. So many spikes going through it, it almost looks like a hairbrush. All right, so now I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, maybe they were rubber nails and all that, and it's a gimmick or whatever. But then I realized it's stuck to his back. And then this plays out kind of like this when they show you exactly the damage done by this move.
Stuck in his back! Pull it out of his back! Look at that! Pull it!
I want you to look at that. Those nails don't look clean to me. They look rusty as fuck. They are clearly in that man's skin. This is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in a professional wrestling ring. One of them. Okay? But it gets worse.
Friggin' thing out of his back! Holy smokes! I've seen it all now! He needs a tetanus shot stat! So now the referee is basically coming over and letting the other wrestler know because, it is predetermined, all that. Like, that shit's in his back. I don't know how bad it is, how good it is, but it's in his back, right? So now the guy in the ring, Jon Moxley, the guy who's sitting there with the shit in his back, his one of his buddies, allies, his name's Wheeler Yuta, is going to come running in here, and watch what happens. This is disgusting. God, the skin is getting pulled out of his friggin' back. That match, Cope and Christian in Toronto, the I Quit match. Remember, it was Spike that forced Christian Cage to utter those words. My God, this is wicked. Paul Turner. Look at that. That is, you're a grown-ass man. You got to weigh at least, we're going to say like 235, right? You just had all your weight come down on it. All those nails are stuck in your back. Look where the nail alignment is. Again, look at where my cursor is. Here is his spine. Look at where these nails are. His lung is right here. Let's say he landed on this shit wrong. he punctures his spine. He punctures his lung. But as someone once said, I digress. Let's go forward a little.
Pull it out of his back, Paul, for crying out loud.
Just pull it out of his back. Double psycho knee. Yuta, pull
Here
it
it
out of his
comes.
back, for God's sake.
Oh, thank God.
It's a street fight. It's anything goes. And look at you. Oh, my.
You gotta be
Yuta.
kidding me. Oh, fuck.
Oh, no. This is no.
Okay. So it now looks like he's pulling a cheese off a pizza.
Look at his skin. This is disgusting. I'm
Like-
going to throw up.
Look, that shit was actually plunged into his back.
Oh, this is.
Guys, we have seen it all now.
They're trying to get it out of his
I've
back.
seen some stuff like this in my career. This might be a first.
There you
finally.
go.
Finally.
Finally out of his fucking back, right?
Oh, wait a second, Cope. He's
He's
got
gonna
Yuta
throw him
right
through a
forward.
table
Now it's
here.
just gonna-
Not a big deal, though, right? Simple bump, not a big deal.
Anybody
I think they showed John Moxley's
table.
back,
It
and
was
that's the
Wheeler
last thing they
freaking
show. This
Yuta.
shit.
Oh, wait a second. Claudio Castagnoli, where did he come?
All right, they're not showing his back. And I'm actually going to close down that browser. Turn that off. Get rid of this overlay. Yeah. So this is by far one of the stupidest things I've ever seen on a professional wrestling show. This was on TBS in the middle of the day. Just imagine now some kid tries to emulate that. That man got so lucky that all it would have taken was one of those nails to perforate or just nick his spine at a certain angle. And that man lost the use of his legs, could have passed away right there in the ring. It could have punctured through his rib, like say it went in between a rib and hit him in his lung. It could have perforated his lung. He would have been coughing, spitting up blood. He could have killed himself. For what? The kicker of that right there is that wasn't the ending to the show, that match. That wasn't like the main event or anything like this. And the guy who fell on the spikes, yeah, he still won. So exactly, it wasn't pay-per-view. It wasn't like you're making a whole ton of money on. What the hell are you doing? Like, why would you do that? It is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Fuck both those guys. Fuck Edge for participating in it. And fuck that John Moxley guy for letting it happen to him. Because that takes cooperation to make something like that happen. And yeah, fuck that. Fuck both those guys. Straight out. Fuck that promotion too. You could have maimed somebody. Now let's look at the other end of it. If I'm a parent and my kid's watching wrestling, like, you know, because we all watch wrestling when we were kids. And like you said, oh, like Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And then, oh, well, he's going to do that shit. It's going to be like Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And then you see that. Your kid's going, like, watching it. Why? My kid wouldn't watch that again. That'd be the last time you got to see shit like that in front of you. Like real life, perforating the back. And that was on national like cable. Like, what the hell was that? That is flat out like the dumbest thing I have ever seen in pro wrestling. That is the stupidest thing that two people could do to one another in that ring. There's so much stuff you can do. And that's what you did. Like, I don't ever want to see either one of those wrestlers again. Don't ever want to see either one of them. Like, completely turn me off to anything. They could do anything they want in that ring from this point on. I don't ever want to see it. I don't care. Don't want to see it. But I figure if this video gets copyright struck, then only two of you guys actually got to see that shit. So, but yeah, tell me that isn't just over the top. Just what the fuck are we doing here? Because if somebody said to me, hey man, look, we're gonna wrestle. We're gonna do this move, that move, the other move. Then you're gonna take the spike bat, yeah, or this spike 2x4. You're gonna set that 2x4 down in the ring, and I'm gonna suplex you on it, and it's gonna stick in your back, and it's gonna be a great visual. I'd be like, yo, you can go fuck yourself. That ain't happening, and I'm not throwing you into it. I've seen street fights that didn't like do crazy shit like that. I don't know what the hell I just like witnessed, but it was definitely the height of human stupidity. And like I said, to be honest with you, I think they should like that wrestling show. I wouldn't say they should shut it down, but they should move it to a time slot where there's no children watching, where it's only adults. So like, midnight or something. That shit happened at like 9 o'clock at night. Kids are watching TV. Oh, I want to watch my favorite wrestling program, Ma. Oh, okay, no problem. Like, and then that shit happens. Some little boy is like, oh, that's so cool, because I want you, me and my sister, I can't tell you how many times we would hop around on the bed when we were kids. My sister would be like, I'm Hulk Hogan. And I'd be like, I'm Roddy Piper. And she'd kick me in the face. I'd fall on the bed and then she'd drop a big leg on me or something, like shit like this. Just kids playing or give each other the DDTs on the bed, Now what? You got a kid who's like, oh yeah, I hammered some nails through a 2x4 I found in the garage, and I'm going to suplex you on this shit on the ground. Like what? Just awful, terrible, scary, tremendously evil shit. Yes, and you're 100% right, Stranded. That's just it. I don't know how Edge was probably like, yo, I ain't fucking doing that. If you want to take that bump, okay. You want to fall like that on that thing, be my guest. I'll throw you on there gladly. But let's say that dude died. Let's say John Moxley dies in the ring, right? Like right there, perforated his spine. He immediately just dies outright in the ring because wrestlers have died in the ring before. Rey Mysterio hit that 619 move he does to a guy in Mexico. And the guy actually had like a heart attack. Like when he put him into the rope, something happened in the guy's head. He got like severe whiplash when he hit the rope. And it basically, he was dead. And then Rey Mysterio hit him with that 619 for a while there. Rey Mysterio thought he accidentally followed through with the 619 and kicked the guy's face and broke his neck. Like it was a whole big thing. So like just how would Edge have felt if John Moxley just died right there in the ring or was paralyzed for the rest of his life from that shit? Like that, it was the dumbest shit I have ever seen in a wrestling ring. Like it was, I don't know who wrote it down on paper and thought that would be a smart idea, but it was fucking stupid. Stupid with two O's. Like severely fucking stupid. And like being able to show it to you guys though. Like I said, I'm kind of glad I was able to show you the video because I've tried to do still shots of it and it works, but it doesn't work. And yeah, Edge was like a champion for WWE, all this stuff. He was in a cage match, I guess about 7, 8 months ago, and jumped from the top of the cage. The guy was on a table, jumped off the cage and realized the guy didn't move when he was supposed to. So he was going to hit him. So he put his feet down to catch himself and broke his leg. Like, don't do dumb shit in the ring. Okay, yes, wrestling is predetermined and all that, but people still get actual hurt. Broken arms, broken legs, broken necks. One dude, Big E in WWE, he did, and they do it all the time. Guy snapped him over into a suplex onto the concrete or what have you, like the padding on the floor. And Big E didn't fly over enough. Like, well, actually, it was the guy's fault. He didn't pull him over enough when they did the move. Broke Big E's neck. Big E's career ended right there. And, like, thank God he survived. He's up walking and mobile and all that, but he'll never wrestle again. He's done. His in-ring career is done. But yeah, it's some awful, awful shit. Like that's the shit that I like look at and I go, what the fuck is pro wrestling anymore? Like they have the indie promotions to try and get people in the building. They call them outlaw mud shows, right? They'll do stuff where they'll like break light tubes over each other's heads and then stab each other with the glass and dumb shit like this. Terrible, awful shit. But yeah, that right there to me, that is you're in it. The second biggest professional wrestling company in the world, and this is the kind of shit you're gonna do. Like, even the outlaw mud shows know better than that. Yeah, not even close to what we grew up with. Like, pro wrestling, the newer style, it looks cool for a second, but it makes no goddamn sense when you actually logically break it down. Yes, Owen Hart. So the whole thing was he had this gimmick, you know, his character persona, if you will, was called the Blue Blazer, and he was wearing a mask, and they were supposed to lower him in from the ceiling, and the thing they were using to lower him down, the harness, wasn't rated for what they were using it for, and the clasp broke, and he fell 50 feet to the ring. His face hit the turnbuckle. He bounced off of it and died, like broke his neck and died immediately. On a pay-per-view. Live on a pay-per-view. And that, to this day, is still like one of the biggest tragedies in all of professional wrestling. Was Owen Hart's death. And it happened live on a pay-per-view. And luckily, he was just starting to descend when he fell. So the camera was actually panning to the crowd and was supposed to cut back to the ring, but they saw him fall and kept the shot on the crowd. So you didn't actually see him fall and hit the ring or whatever, but there was a dent in the ring from where he landed. Yes. And it wasn't the rope that snapped. It was like a safety clasp. So there was a quick release safety clasp. So when he dropped down, he was supposed to pull the safety thing and it would like quick release and drop him into the ring. Instead, when they dropped him, the quick release broke and he just fell. But yes, he didn't like getting up there. He didn't want anything to do with it. But Vince McMahon talked him into like, look, it's safe and all this. And to be fair, Vince McMahon put the harness on because he did have a thing where he always told the wrestlers, I won't ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do. So Vince McMahon put the harness on and dropped down at first, and when they were practicing, going over how it was going to open and the match was going to go and all that. And Vince McMahon dropped to the ring first using the harness, and it held him. It was just showtime. But yeah, his widow, Martha Hart, actually won a pretty huge lawsuit against WWF for that, too. And you want to talk about a kicker on top of everything, right? John Moxley, the guy who just got jacked up with the board and all that stuff, his wife is the interviewer for the same company. So she was in the back watching while that shit was going on. If my wife was in the back and she saw me about to take a move like that, she would have come out to the ring, grabbed me by my ear, and started beating my ass in front of God and everybody. She'd have been like, well, are you fucking, like, have you lost your fucking mind? Because I'll help you find it. She would have just beat me in front of everybody, embarrassed the shit out of me. Like, what are you doing? Like, no lie at all. My wife would have just fucking beat me to, like, she'd have beat me till I was unrecognizable. And like, I'm not helping you wipe your ass. Not if you paralyze yourself, you dumb fuck. And just started kicking me around. Because, like I said, I watched that, and just what goes through my head. Now, granted, I know I've told you guys this. I don't know. Maybe I haven't. Stranded might not have. That was probably before you started tuning in. So, one of the things about me even being able to paint at all and hold a brush halfway steady and do halfway decent job with it is my hands don't completely work right. Because when I was younger, I was in a car accident and broke like two of the discs in my neck. Basically, they wanted to do surgery, and I refuse it because I know I'm going to have surgery for the rest of my life on those two spots as soon as I have the first one. So my hands don't completely work right. So when I see like a spinal injury, a possibility of one like they just pulled, it makes my blood boil because I'm like, yo, you're kind of actively trying to make yourself not work right. Like not make your hands work right or not make your back work right. Or, like you're purposefully trying to damage yourself where you don't know what it's like every day when you wake up and it's raining out and you know it's raining because your hand won't close completely or your fingers don't work. Or you're dropping shit everywhere like I just did. What? Big George passed away? We're talking about George the First, not George like the 16th. Like out of all his kids, they're all named George. We're talking about like Thrilla in Manila. Like we're talking about Big George Foreman came back, won the fucking title. Hey, I want to fry some shit. Get your Foreman grill out. Like that George Foreman. Wow. God, may he rest in peace. That man went from somebody who used to break people's thumbs to one of the biggest teddy bears that could beat the shit out of you I've ever seen, and a very good man that took care of his family. So God bless him. One hell of a career. The fight between him and Ali, where Ali invented the rope-a-dope, still legendary, will always be legendary in boxing history. My God. I don't fucking believe it. I can't believe he died at 76. He didn't even have brain damage or anything. Like, he didn't get his brains beat in. He was always like, yeah, stranded. That's just it. I said that in like one of my first couple streams. But yeah, it's the truth. I'm jacked up. Like I jacked myself up. Car accident. Guy hit me going 65 miles an hour on a one-way street. I was going the right way. He was going the incorrect way. And yeah, fucked me up for the rest of my life. But there's never going to be a day I wake up that I don't feel pain in my hands or in my neck. Never. And you just like to see somebody do that to themselves on purpose. Like it does. It actually makes me feel a certain kind of way. Like pisses me off. Like you don't take what you've got. You're taking what you have for granted. And yeah, he's iconic. George Foreman, he's definitely he's in that top 10 category of boxers of all time, greatest boxers of all time. Even if in his old age, when he won the title again, he used to pull his trunks up to his tits. I appreciate that, Stranded. That happened back, Jesus Christ, like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, something like that. It's one of the things that, like, it broke me for a while. I'm not going to lie. I felt like I wasn't a man. The one dude that's in here, CLB, my old assistant manager, he probably remembers when that happened. I was actually talking to one of the people that work for me on the phone when the guy hit me. She heard the entire accident. Look, Danny Boss, what's going on? Good to see you. Welcome to Friday Night Fuckery, where I will never do Friday nights again. We will only do fucking Thursdays from now on. It's just been a fucking night. And then cherry on top, George Foreman's dead. Age 76, Sheree saying. Can't believe it. A true boxing legend. Man, my application is all fucked up tonight, too. Yeah, you would think. I mean, it's definitely been a thing, Danny. Definitely been a thing. Like, my painting's all off. The sound has been dropping here and there. Video cut out once. It's basically been Sheree and Stranded. That's it. And now you. Like, barely anybody here. Like, normally we got like 8 or 9 people talking. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely, the experiment has backfired, so we're back to Thursdays next week. Like, it's unfortunate. Well, it's fortunate, unfortunate, but everybody's like, keeps saying the same thing. Like, yeah, man, like, kind of missed you on Thursday. Like, I was even out of sorts for not streaming Thursday. Oh, yeah, this is getting all touched up. But yeah, just we went over Tesla and all that bullshit. We went over a guy reporting JFK files that were actually from a cutscene from Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies. And he reported it like it was fact. And then I just showed off AEW John Moxley doing one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in professional wrestling. And then that just led into Sheree telling us all that Big George Foreman has passed away at age 76. I know, Danny. I know, dude. You're awesome. Like, that's not the thing. The thing was that I switched up to Friday to see if I could, like, to see if the turnout would be better, because everybody was saying, like, well, a couple of different people were saying, like, oh yeah, Friday is much better because I don't work on Saturday, so therefore, I can come hang out and hang out longer and later and all this kind of bit. And instead, we've had less viewers. People like have reached out to me like and said like, "Are you okay?" Because I didn't stream the other day. It's everything's just kind of fucked up and off. Yeah, well, I didn't know he passed. Sheree legitimately just told us right before you said, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And I'm not gonna lie, um, not only am I not liking this, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do anything with this fucking crack. That crack is really bad, like to a point where, like, I think the model may be shot. I don't even think I can putty fill that and make it look right. I don't think it's gonna work. I think Donkey Kong, I was really hoping that would look a little bit more closed, but the more I'm looking at it, the more separated it's getting. Nope. Nope. The Friday stream killed George Foreman. God damn it. That's it. We have to go back to Thursdays because I don't want Mike Tyson to die next. Yeah, I think this guy's 110% going to be a reprint and a repaint. Did it come back? Yeah. Oh my god. Can you guys hear me? This thing is fucking unbelievably pissing me off at this point. I don't know what the fuck is wrong. I've tried moving wires. I've tried everything else. It is definitely just one of those nights. I don't even know why the fuck I'm painting, because this thing's going to have to get reprinted, because that crack is way, like, I'm not going to be able to patch. I was hoping I was going to be able to fill patch that. I'm not going to be able to fill patch it. It's pulling apart even more. I'll be honest with you. If it wasn't for you guys saying, hey, you cut out, hey, static, it's fine in my headset. Like, I can hear myself fine even when it cuts off. Like, thank God I got actual decent people watching my show and not a bunch of trolls, because you'd be able to sit there and just tell me, oh, yeah, your sound's out repeatedly, and I'd believe you even if it wasn't. Yeah, it's definitely, I don't know what the fuck is going on. It has been one fucked up night. I think somehow me not streaming on Thursday and going to Friday has broken the matrix. We have changed reality and bent it in a way that we weren't supposed to. You're allowed to bend things, you can't break them. Just remember, there is no spoon. No, I know you wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, thank God. Yeah, I think this would be a cool design if it wasn't just janked like that. I am not going to be able to overlook that. Which means I got to change the name of the stream to fail or never again, because yeah, that Donkey Kong's fucked. Wow, I haven't seen The Matrix in many, many years. I stopped watching The Matrix a while ago. I just want to know what is fucking this thing up so bad. The first Matrix movie when it came out was amazing. Like, it was fresh. It was like, what the fuck? I just remember them running the ad up for it on the Super Bowl, and it was like, nobody can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. And like, everybody just thinking that was the line from the movie, and then finding out that no, you actually got to see it for yourself. God damn it. Yeah, I'm definitely. Dear fucking God, I hope my sound is back. Motherfucker. I don't get it. I am not sure what the hell it is. I can tell you it is starting to piss me off a lot, though. Everybody think Thursday's thoughts. Well, we now know the Thursday. It basically is cursed by GAM. Like if I try to move from a Thursday, it's like the Davy Jones like heart being locked up in a box. Apparently, my heart's locked up and my stream is locked up on a Thursday. I mean, I guess I'll go for a little bit longer and then we'll cut it because this shit's just gonna cut out anyway. What time does Alien start streaming? So I can send like everybody go to Alien's stream when he kicks off. So this way you can watch a stream that isn't fucked. I might as well send Alien spaceship sound effects and vlog a. They're like, here you go, take everybody, dude, because I'm fucked. So the reason why there's a crack here is because I hollowed him. And you can kind of see right here, stranded. See this little hole? That's where the drain hole was. So when I hollowed it, I actually hollowed out the entire barrel. And this arm so that all this would drain out. So when I printed him, he was printed upside down like this, so everything would drain down to the pan, right? It would drain from here down to here, over here. But some of the resin got trapped in the barrel. And when he cured or froze or what have you, when the weather changes, that resin will expand. So it expanded and cracked open and leaked out of them. That's why you see these gray spots here. It's not because I didn't paint the black base coat. It's because the resin dripped onto it that was leaking from here. But the big takeaway is I either have to reprint them and not hollow him out, or reprint him and any which way you look at it, I got to reprint him. It's not going to work. He's dud. It's a dud. Yeah, I mean, so I could probably do it with resin. The only problem is, as I've been painting him, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's hard to see on the video. So you had one crack here, right? This crack was smaller when we started. Now it's extended up to under the barrel. And then if you look right here, and I'm going to bring it in, I'm seeing another crack starting to form. So it's going to eventually crack out to here. And then this whole piece is going to lift apart. Like it's going to go and pop up because he's hollow instead of being like thick. So, and that's just it. Like, it's hard to see the little crack lines on them unless I'm really pointing. Like, the big crack you can see no problem. But when I bring it in and it's way out of focus, you can see right by my thumbnail, right here, you can see like the start of another crack forming and how it's going out to the barrel. So that tells me that the model itself is going to eventually absorb a little bit more light, and maybe it's even from me hitting it with that UV, that there's still a little bit of loose resin in there that's trapped in liquid, and when the light hits it, it's going to push through the crack and snap the crack open. Kind of like if you have a crack in a sidewalk and it rains and rain gets into the crack and then freezing weather hits. Like all of a sudden it's super cold outside and that crack starts getting really wide. The reason why is because the water's getting in there and expanding. Well, the resin does the same thing when it's drying. It expands a little. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, right here. There's a crack right there too. Right between those two cheeks. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but sometimes shit like this happens. Like the Joker bust I did exploded. As a matter of fact, one of the things that I painted black was one of the like this round ball thing from Dig Dug. And when I was looking through to see what I was going to paint tonight, because it was legitimately going to be a toss up between Donkey Kong here, and then I almost painted Krang, right? Like I got to do this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Krang. Now Krang, I put so many damn holes in him when I hollowed him. It was hard for any resin to get trapped in there, and he's basically just hollow in the center. So everything was able to drain out when he was crafted. Like I got everything out of him. You don't see any resin coming out when I shake him, nothing like that. But apparently with the Donkey Kong, unfortunately, because I had only one little pinhole here to drain the resin, I should have done this entire neckline, should have done holes all through it, and I would have been able to get all the resin out. Let me see. No, that's actually just part of the model. You're talking about right here? I'm actually looking on the camera with you. But no other break in the back of it. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. Like I said, everything about this stream has been kind of cursed tonight. Actually, you asked me for a Judge Dredd, and I've been looking for one, Danny. Matter of fact, let's see if I can do this. Give me 1 second. If I lose sound, just know I'm searching or what have you. Gotta do this shit in the background. Let's go to that. So, let's see. Probably going to lose chat. Hey, let me get rid of the Donkey Kongs on the screen too, because this is fucked. And then we can go to this. All right, here we go. Let me do this so you guys can kind of see a little better. Actually, I can expand that out. You guys don't need to see my username and all that shit. Lock her in. All right, here we go, Danny. So this is the shit we have coming up for Judge Dredd. Hopefully you guys can see this. Eastman, it looks like, is the man who did this. He looks like me without a beard and with actual muscles. There's another one of them. They got like his helmet and shit. A Christmas ornament. Helmets. Badges. Well, a lot of this stuff is pay to play, unfortunately. But that looks like the main one is this. And we'll do this and download it. And I think I'll hollow him out, blow him up to a certain size, and then start printing them. Oh, it was just the paint. Okay, Stranded. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I can do searches for a lot of stuff. Some of it's cool. Some of it sucked. Like, here you go. This one. You guys saw this. I already have it printed out and ready to rock and roll. It's just got to get base painted and all that. The guy changed the pricing on it. If you look right where the cursor's moving, $5 now to download her. When he put it up, it was free. It's $5 now for her. Like, same thing with this. I think this one was free when it initially came out, and he's got it. It's $5. It's become a member, which I think is like $10 a month or something. But yeah, the Squirrel Girl, the absolute, I gotta do her. Let's see, we got some Moon Knight stuff. Here's one I'm interested in doing. Like, this guy, it's a pretty badass Thanos. Oh. I think that one's pretty cool. Like, I think that could be a fun one to paint. But this is Spotus Mint. He's like, this guy's no joke. He does a lot of Marvel stuff like that. Matter of fact, I'm going to grab that one while I'm here. But yeah, Spotus Mint, his stuff is just amazing. Let me see. Let's see, we got a Borg cube. So somebody did a Borg cube. Looks like you print out the sides and then put it all together and you can paint it or what have you. No, I don't want to buy shit. There's the Enterprise D. It's not a bad print. Let's see what else we got. Looks like somebody did a collection. You've got a bunch of displays. You got a Star Trek phaser, but that one you got to get a subscription to the guy's shit. Oh, that's pretty cool. You're fine. This one's a little bit more difficult because it's 2-section. That's Enterprise E. I thought that was the Enterprise D. Oh no, NX-01. Hold on. There's the NX-01. Somebody made it actually. Let's look at what it looks like. So when it prints out, that's oof. That's a rough model. Then again, they did this in PLA, not resin. So you're losing your smoothness and you're going to get these rough edges. You can actually see the layers in the 3D printing. If this was done in resin, it might come out better. All right, let me go back. Files 2. What are your files? Okay, we'll just download them all. We'll set that up for download. That's actually a smooth looking one right there. You see somebody made it. Let's see what she came out looking like. Oh, came out rough. Then again, they're also doing it in PLA. So PLA is basically like liquid plastic. It's a filament, like fishing line, basically. And it draws from the top down. Let me see. Okay, that one's completed. Let's see, we got the NX-01 shuttle. Little shuttle pod, but I got to log into that shit to download it, and I'm not even going to try. NX-01 refit. God damn, this dude's... What the fuck? Wow, this guy went ham on it. Let's see what his makes look like. This guy's actually got it in his hand. He did this one in resin. Yeah, I mean, that's actually not bad. But you can see the difference between PLA and resin. PLA is much better for other things. But let's see, it was remixed from this, which is an ultimate collection of all the Enterprises, apparently. Jesus Christ. This guy ain't fucking around. Jesus, look at that. He did all of them. From a Space Shuttle Enterprise, the Phoenix, Alpha. It's got Enterprise XCB. There's the NX-01. There's the original. That's Phase 2, which was the movie. Enterprise A, B, C. There's, yeah, D class. E, 2009. And then he refit it. The Kelvin. The F. God damn. Dude, this guy went... He's got even the Enterprise J. Good Lord. The only thing is, I hope he's not... If his model files look like this, that's going to be a problem. That's a lot of gluing and repairing and patching right here. If he split them down like that so they fit on a printer thing, that would be an issue. And that's, it looks like he did. It looks like he compressed them so they all fit on one platter. 31 files. This collection of all Starship Enterprise models in correct scale to each other, including Enterprise F from Star Trek Online and J.J. Abrams' remake. But the NX-01 and X class are the refit. They're both 59 millimeter. Yeah, this was a fat sweaty nerd did this one, but I'm gonna pull that file too. Got cookie cutters. We've got wall mounts. Could be a fun one to do. What the hell's this? That's pretty cool. Not $8 worth of cool. Dear Lord. Cold divers too. All right. Oh, yeah. I mean, most of what you give me something else that I can search. Nothing dirty, because they trust me. People upload fucked up files on this shit too. Let me see. We'll just search Shang-Chi. Oh, look, legendary rings. More goofy little shit. One of my favorites is this, because I got to do these for my daughter. But all the different goddamn Pokemon that are out there. Eevee, Bulbasaur, Gengar. I got a ton. One of the cool ones I wanted to do, this one right here. This statue, I think, would be a badass one to do. If I print it out, I already have it downloaded. If I do this one and print it out, it's going to take me a minute to do. The only problem, Sentinel's head base is not included in the downloadable files. So I have to make sure. I'm going to have to check and see if it's there. Yeah, I definitely loved. I love Enterprise. I thought that show, they canceled it way too soon. But the whole, oh God, what's the name of the arc? Zingati, the Zindi? Wasn't it the Zindi? Where it was like the 5 different, they evolved. One was aquatic, one was like lizards, one was human looking. But yeah, Enterprise, like when the show was on, I didn't watch it. I watched it after it was off the air, and I was like, God damn it! I wish I watched this when it was live. Yeah, the Zendi arc is just unbelievably good. Like the aquatics being the strongest out of all of them, and all that. And the reptiles won the war. Wait a minute. This one's probably pay to play, but let me check it. Yeah, become a member. Say I did want to do a Colossus with an I-beam and all that. That one would probably come out pretty cool. Actually, here's my favorite X-Man right here, but I don't know that I like that sculpt, I'll be honest with you. That's actually not bad. I still won't become a member to get his shit, though. All right, all those enterprises are done. Let's see. What's this? Oh, Reaper in the what you call it from Subnautica. Yeah, I mean, The ending of that show hurt too because Tucker died. Um, it was a good show though. They really did well with it. This I have downloaded, and this one's probably going to get done. I thought that was a great Cyclops. Like his paint job on this is just, this is what I say when you guys are like, oh, you did a really good job on that. I'm like, no, my stuff's shit. The reason why is because people are painting shit like this. Like that's unbelievable how well that's done. Oh, for yeah, let's see. Pirates of the Caribbean. Let's see what comes up. For Alien, the only thing that really comes up is a replica Aztec coin, which if I did it in resin would look really good. Somebody else did one too. Actually, it's the same coin, I think. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've got. I'll show you the Wolverine. I've got a couple of them downloaded. I'm going to do a Wolverine too. Pirates of the Caribbean. Well, actually, here's a Black Pearl. Oh, I don't know about that one. I'm not liking that. What's this? Mermaid from the Cursed Pirates. Oh, $3. Nope. You ain't getting loot. No loot, my boot. But yeah, I could probably do, like, looks like the only thing really coming up, unless I did, actually, you know what? I bet you if I search this up, there we go. Now we're talking. This might be something that Alien would like. And of course, it's Photos one of the best goddamn modelers in the community. And look at it, it's stunning. That's an actual printout. That's PLA, but look at that. Yeah, he did it smooth backed and everything. That would be an easy, like I'd print it like this. And then I could put all the supports here and not even worry about that part, really. Yeah, that is a beautiful sculpt. I mean, he's got the barnacles in the hat and everything. Great, fantastic. Like I said, Photos and Printed Obsessions, both of them just do outstanding modeling work. Let's see, Flexi. No, we don't want that. Here's a little mini one. Somebody did. Somebody did that one. It didn't come out bad. It's not terrible. It's cartoony. You did like the cartoon version. Let's see, Davy Jones key. Davy Jones pipe. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Bottle cap. A lot of people looks like they did for children. Okay, so somebody actually did a scan. So I'm gonna guess Disney had a video game thing that you went and bought the figures for. Looks like somebody actually did a 3D scan of the actual original figure. This isn't a 3D print right here. This is the original figure. And then they scanned it in so that you can print it out for your kids or what have you and have them paint it. Yeah, like this one's all right. They guy did an all right job, but that Fotis Mint one, that's got my eye. Poor 20 pipe. Um, See, like, you get shit like this 3D model, right? The only thing is, if I import this into Blender, it's going to be flat and like polygons. This is the coloring you're seeing on this thing, like in his face, everything else. This stuff is actually a separate file called a texture file. Yeah, see, you can see it right here. It says it. Texture format is JPEG. So it won't render. Yeah, it's more for if I was going to do like a cutscene and make that in Blender, I would download something like this and then be able to move the arms in whatever way I want, make them talk, the whole 9 yards. But it's not for really, it looks shitty when you try to 3D print it. What about Sheree? What do you want to see, Sheree? Like, let me see something. Oh, here's the Donkey Kong file right here. And once again, got to become a member to get. Are we back? I actually did this one already for my daughter. Yeah, I actually already did this one. I did this before I started streaming. I did him and I did another one that was Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, it was Sonic the Hedgehog was the other one. Hopefully that's got the sound even better. Yeah, you got Mario and Yoshi. Like the only thing is, Printed Obsession when he first puts them out, he gives you like a slight window where you can download the file. But once that's done, it's done. Oh shit. Hopefully now you guys can see it. But yeah, here's the Donkey Kong I was doing. This one I did for my daughter already. Um, Wario. Wario I didn't get before he made it exclusive. I think I have this Bowser. Yeah, so if you ever see a heart on one of these pages, it's because that's how I mark it. I favorite it to know I downloaded it. So I got it when it was free. Um, but yeah, Printed Obsession, just his stuff is just phenomenal. I did not that one. He's got so many like he just goes ham with his sculpts. But let's see what he's got free. So he's got that. I've got the Xenomorph. He also does, you can see this YouTube symbol here. Any of these that you ever see, you can actually go to his channel and he shows you him sculpting them as he's going.
I haven't heard of any megastructure under Giza. Yeah, he used to have a ton of these things free. And when they first come out, like this one, this will be free for like another week, and then it'll go away. But I like to come in here and look at his stuff every now and again. Jack Sparrow. Actually, looks like we got one. That's an alright one. I'll have to look that up if they found something new under Giza. Actually, look at this. Ah, no. Face is too drawn out. Somebody remixed it out of the base. Yeah, most of the Jack Sparrows, unfortunately, they're so-so. Yep, I'll see you there, Sheree, because I'll be headed down that megastructure rabbit hole too. Sorry, guys. This Friday night fuckery really fucked me up. Do. Nope, don't want that one. I did this one for my son, and it came out badass. But yeah, like this Gandalf figure, I have him printed and ready to rock and roll. See, like this Magneto, I would love to do that one, but I'm not going to pay for it. That's a great Deadpool. Fotis Mint. I mean, outside of me having to shut down the stream, restart it, and shut down my microphone and restart it every 5 minutes. Say, yeah, it hasn't been too terrible, has it, Sheree? Let's see what he's got free. For some reason, I want to say I tried this Earthworm Jim and it didn't come out well. I did this one, the Hermit. I did this for my daughter that's out in Oregon. Because people are designing them with their hands, a lot of times you'll see where it says fan art. What the hell just happened? Did I lose sound again, guys? You guys still there? This one, Punisher, I've actually got him printing right now. Winter Soldier, Michael Myers, Popeye. I don't like that Scarecrow, which is unfortunate. I did this Freddy Krueger. You guys remember I did that one for my daughter-in-law. Skeletor bust. That could be fun. Here's the Batman the Animated Series I have printed out. Look, everybody, it's Bane, or it's Bane. Good thing Bean is not in the chat. She'd be yelling about this Zolterra dog.
See you next stream, Danny. It'll be on Thursday. Trust me, it's on Thursday from now on. Fuck Friday. Thank you for dropping in, brother. I printed him out. I still got to paint him. One that I've been looking for and I can't find. Let's see. Is actually a decent Captain America. I was looking at this one and I downloaded it. The only thing is, I don't know if you guys can see how rough and patchy it is. He didn't smooth it out, so on the model it looks like clay, like he's modeled out of clay. And it's unfortunate because it's a decent sculpt and everything, has a shield, but like, I'll pull that up in the 3D viewer, you'll see what I mean. See how that looks like clay? It doesn't look quite right. So that's one of my disappointing ones right here. Because I can't find a decent Captain America, and I've wanted to do one. Like Zombie Captain America is pretty cool. Here's a bust, but no shield on his back. Like, people do the shield separate, but don't do and then you'll get shit like this. Like, this one's a decent sculpt and everything with the broken shield, but it's also pay to play. Like, somebody actually did this one, Captain America Hydra. That's really good detail and all that, but it's the Hydra version, and I don't want that. I want just plain ass Captain America. Like, that's an awful one. So you have to use a modeling program. I currently use Blender, and I'm okay with it, but I'm not good enough where I could get that good of detail into it. You know what I mean? But all the rest of it, let me see. This one looks newer. That's a good one, but I want him with his damn helmet on. Plus, he's got the tiny shields. He doesn't have the. This is the Wakanda version. I mean, this guy should look familiar. There's that Iron Man I did. Now he's got it locked behind a paywall. But yeah, Iron Man, you get him every now and again. You know, I keep going back to Marvel Rivals because that's the current game out. Everybody's playing. Let's see. Let me try Thor. That's fat, sad Thor. This guy wants $5 for that. Ain't no fucking way. People do cutesy shit and everything else. Let's see. Hit that little button. See, like, I'm loving the fact I get, like, updates from everybody that I've downloaded from or follow. But yeah, just a cool little thing there. Switch us back to normal mode with broken ass Donkey Kong. Yeah, that crack. the crack got even bigger since it's been sitting here, right? Not just that, but remember I pointed out that real tiny crack that was here? Well, let me see if I can, let me fuck with the camera a little bit. Hopefully this doesn't screw everything up. Oop, no, I can't do it that way. I got to do it actually in program. Properties. Configure video. Yeah, there we go. Let's see, where the hell's my zoom? Wow, you're really not going to let me. There it is. Yeah, that's not going to let me do it. Well, no, wait, I can bring it into focus this way. Right? So that little tiny crack that was here, you can now see how it's turning into a T. Yeah, it is a good one, but yeah, if you look right here, you can see that now that little tiny crack has turned into a T and is starting to spread out to here. And this crack here is now going all the way up the arm into the barrel. So it's going to split right through the barrel and out the other side. Matter of fact, you can see it. I just tilted it a certain way and you can see where it's going into the hand now. Like it's done. This model unfortunately is broken. God damn. Yeah, so it was definitely a cursed night on happy accidents. There weren't any happy accidents this time. It was just all an accident. And I think we've all learned a very valuable lesson. Friday nights are not for GAM. Saturday nights are all right for fighting, but Friday nights are fucked for modeling and painting. Yeah, we're getting to the 11:30 point. Yeah, unfortunately, this shit. I might as well put his head back on. God damn, poor Donkey Kong. Yeah, I agree, Stranded. You don't. Maybe I better say this too. Don't take it as I'm upset, you know, at all. I'm actually very happy you and Sheree stayed here with me through the entire stream and hung in there through technical difficulties, models starting to separate and all kinds of other bullshit. I appreciate the hell out of it. So don't take at it. I'm bitching about that part. I'm bitching more that by moving the day by one day, we got less people actually watching, which might be a good thing. Hey, you know what? Maybe this was a blessing. Let's look at it from an optimistic point of view. The model broke. The sound cut out a whole bunch. Maybe I would have lost viewers. But because this was such a disaster, we're going back to Thursdays. Everybody will be there again, hopefully. And you know, maybe it was a blessing that there weren't a shit ton of eyes on this when it was happening. I don't like that thinking because I like it when shit goes right. But I'll take it because, you know, look, at least the greatest model on the internet's Sheree was here. And Stranded, one of my very loyal viewers, very cool people, was here. Yeah, but everybody knows every silver lining's got a touch of gray.
like my beard. But, you know, so we can look at it through that lens. But yeah, definitely we're going back to Thursdays, guys. And yeah, I'm not changing that shit. I might add the Sunday show back in to catch up as, like I said, wife's birthday just passed, so she got a whole bunch of the stuff I had done on stream. And then the anniversary hits in May, and that'll wipe out the rest of it. And that's pretty much it's time to reprint, paint, and get ready for next year, you know, like Christmas and birthdays and all that stuff. Oh, hi, Paul. How are you? It's been one fucked up night, Paul, is what it's been. Like, I'm pretty much like, wait, I'm probably going to smoke a cigarette and end the show, to be honest with you, because it's been a fucked up night. Sound's been crapping out left and right. The model broke while I was painting it. It's just been all around crazy. Poor Sheree and Stranded have had to listen to my mouth run all night. And neither of them complained once, because that's why they're that special to me, because they didn't complain at all when everything was going on. And that's awesome. You guys did have fun, though. I mean, I showed them some crazy and I showed them some ugly and talked about a whole bunch of different stupid things that are happening in this world. I actually got to play that game I'm always playing, Marvel Rivals, with Paul. He's pretty good as the tank or whatever, and he's got some really good teammates. They invited me, well, Paul brought me into their Discord. I posted something in there, and then I got booted out somehow. And I was just like, well, it's just like any other Discord. If I get booted out, it's because somebody didn't want me there, and that means if they don't want to speak up about it, that's fine. I made them feel uncomfortable in some way. I'll just move on and just not fuck with them anymore, you know? Yeah, and that's the important part, you know. I guess that really is the important part. And you guys, you know, Sheree has heard me say this on multiple occasions when we've been on till like what, 2 in the morning, Sheree? And I'll say to her, I was like, "You're still here with me?" I was like, "As long as I got one person who's still tuning in and watching me, I'm happy." You know, like that's one person, one set of eyes. Which is funny because that kind of wraps back into the beginning of the entire conversation where I was saying, you know, I was thinking about percentages and numbers, and if I have 10 people that watch me every time I stream and I only have 60 subscribers, you know what I mean? That's like, it's pretty damn good compared to somebody with 1 million subscribers that has 1,000 people watching them. Means the people that I have subscribed to me are actually quality and watching. And, you know, it's always awesome when you guys are enjoying yourselves on top of it. I just, I don't know. It was definitely an experiment. And, yeah, well, we got the results that said experiment. It was like that time I tried to teach a turtle how to fly by throwing it out of a second-story window. Don't worry, there is a kiddie pool that it landed in. It was fine. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Somebody will watch this in the future and be like, that asshole was fucking throwing turtles out the window. Like, no, it's a joke.
Yeah, and good Lord. What a fucking night. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting to that magic number of 11:30. We'll call it a show. Unfortunately, I guess I got to list this episode as model fail. As, yeah. I'm just waiting for shit to start oozing out of this thing. I can't believe that. Oh. But, all right, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sheree. Thank you, Stranded. Thanks for dropping in too, Paul. But thank you guys for dropping in. And thank you for sticking around watching even through all the bullshit. I'll be back normal time, 8 o'clock on Thursday. And try and have a good day. Hopefully today's the better day for everyone. And hopefully next Thursday will be a better day too. If you guys, I don't know, if you still want some entertainment or some good talking and all that stuff, go check out Alien Spaceship Sound Effects and Blog. Make sure you go check out his channel. Say hi to him. Like I said, I'll always support that dude. Good guy. I will catch you guys all Thursday. Everybody try and have a good week. And just remember, until next time, don't take shit from anybody. Good night, everybody. Shout out again to the greatest mod on these internet, Sheree. I'll catch you guys all later. Good night.